As you know, suede has been a very big core trend for this entire year, and this jacket really stood out to me. I loved the color, although it's not suede, it was 100% leather, and price point wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be, and I just loved the style of the jacket. This shirt also sort of stood out to me. I loved the cuff detail, and this is very bohemian inspired, which is again very much trending at the moment. And I thought paired with these sort of cut off, cropped, wide leg jeans and this almost Western inspired belt would give a really gorgeous look, even with a nice tan sandal or a chocolate brown sandal. There was a lot of bohemian inspired jewelry as well. Not really my taste, but it was interesting. It was nice to look at. Another bohemian inspired piece, this little dress, and I think again, styled correctly, it could look really nice. As much as these jeans weren't hanging very nicely, sorry about that, guys, but they were a really nice option for a good wide leg pair of true blue denim jeans. I actually really like the wash. And as you can see in the store, there were very much these beautiful earthy tones hanging everywhere. This was a little set. This was the top and it had matching pants. And initially I was really drawn to it. I think I liked the combination of the off-white with the gold buttons. But then when I had a closer look, I think it was the contrast stitching that was putting me off a little bit. And then this area, there were a few things here that I really liked, but I also was put off by this very sort of mid-tone pink. It's really not a color that I love. But here again, another gorgeous suede jacket. And this one was more in a bomber style. So I loved the collar detail and the sort of utility pockets on it. Just made it that little bit more trendy. This little top I also thought was cute. I was drawn to the color of it, that butter yellow. That is just my favorite color at the moment. I just thought it was very feminine and flouncy and almost whimsical. Would look beautiful with denim. These jackets were really useful, I thought, for this kind of time of year with the spring mornings and evenings being a little bit chillier, just a light jacket. And then I spotted this gorgeous suede coat, and the price was just as outrageous as I was expecting it to be, but it was still really beautiful to look at. And I loved the color of the suede, or the leather rather. Another butter yellow piece that caught my eye was this blazer, but again, I thought this was quite overpriced for what it was, but I still thought it was really stunning. And I loved this taupe color patent slingback heel. These heels personally are a little bit too high for me, but I really loved the color and the style of them. So if you are a heel girly, those are a great option. And we'll go with so much. They also had really nice, just simple gold jewelry. I love a chunky gold bangle, so I really like those. And honestly, I got so excited when I saw this cardigan. There was a similar one in Zara last year that I really snoozed on and missed out on. So I was so happy to find this, and I really loved the quality and the gold buttons. And then these two little sets I really liked, the black and the white. They were exactly the same. And I liked the waistcoat because it had a sort of asymmetric detail where the buttons are. Instead of it just being straight, it was asymmetric. Again, something a little bit different. And the wide leg trousers to go with the sets were actually they looked really nice. I never fitted them, but they looked really nice. And they had a good selection of satin skirts. If you are someone who prefers skirts to pants, this was a nice option. I really liked that they had a little bit of a belt detail as something different. It's not, often you see a belt detail on silk skirts. I thought that was different, and they had a really good range of different colors. And I wasn't loving the layout of the store when I was there this day, but there were definitely some really gorgeous pieces. This almost like giraffe print dress was something that caught my eye. I loved the high neckline, almost like a halter neck with a low back, and I liked the length of it. And again, I wasn't mad about the layout of the store, but I loved all these colors. I love brown and I love butter yellow. And if you are looking for something a little bit more formal, they did have some really gorgeous, slightly more dressy pieces in Zara. I fell in love with these off-white satin trousers. I loved the darts and the detail on them, and I just thought paired with the right top and some good heels would be a really stunning outfit. And I also loved this set. There was a little top with bows, so like a boob tube, almost corseted style top, and a pair of wide leg trousers in the same color. And it was this beautiful, almost oystery, champagne-y kind of color. Really gorgeous again for something smart. This was quite the little number. Definitely not something I would buy, but it was a micro mini skirt and a little crop top. So a lot of skin would be on show, but I thought it was really beautiful. The detail of where they had placed the diamantes was really gorgeous. And another sort of more formal piece that caught my eye was this very sort of flouncy, soft, although it was sequins, it had a softness to it. And I really thought that was quite beautiful. Again, this mid-tone pink that I was just not loving was in quite a few displays in the store. And guys, if you have not checked out the carrot jeans in Zara, do yourself a favor. They are the most beautiful fit. I have this exact brown pair and I love them. And the lighter blue wash I don't have, so I wanted to try those on. This was something quite different as well. It was a boob tube jumpsuit with a wide leg. It had a linen feel to it and a little bit of embroidery on the side there. And I loved the colors here, the navies and the yellows and the fresh whites, very spring inspired. And I thought this almost shacket or overshirt was really good for spring summer, a really useful piece. I also spotted these wide leg white jeans, and I love white jeans for spring summer, and I love this asymmetric seam to the jeans. But you'll see when I tried them on, they weren't as lovely as I thought they would be. For my ladies who love red, there were still pops of red through the store, and I love this vibrant pillar box red. I really love this little sleeveless top with the collar and button, like covered button detail, and the little speed stripe down the side, very sport luxe inspired. Again, red and grey is one of my favorite combinations. And I also loved these relaxed jeans. I liked the grey wash, and yeah, they looked like they would be a really nice fit. I have a number of pairs of grey jeans in my wardrobe, so I didn't bother to try them on. But for anyone looking, these looked really good. Again, more pink and a little bit of florals that I saw in the store for any ladies who love their florals. This corner was definitely, I would say, not really my taste, but just showing you what was in store. These white jeans were almost like darted trousers, so something a little bit different than just your normal standard white jeans. And you guys know I am a denim girl through and through. So these, of course, caught my eye. They were little cropped short sleeve denim shirts, just something quite different. And I love the dark denim that is very on trend at the moment. That's sort of indigo blue. And they had a lighter denim version of that as well. And another bodysuit that I actually have, this chocolate brown one. They had black and white as well, just a really useful basic. And another basic I love are the Zara light knit long sleeve tops, and they have the classic little gold buttons on the sleeve detail, which I think is just elevates a basic so beautifully. And they had some really nice spring colors. Of course, they had to add a butter yellow version, and it was a beautiful shade of yellow, so for my yellow girls. And then more pink. Pink was very big in Zara this day that I was there. And this initially caught my eye. I wasn't sure how it was going to look on, so I did take it to try on. Very puffy sleeves. And I love a stripe, and this navy and sort of off-white cream light knit long sleeve top was also really gorgeous, and another elevated basic, I thought. And for anyone looking for sort of true blue, good straight jeans, these looked really great, and they were the perfect rigid denim. They didn't have too much stretch in them, which is kind of what I look for when I'm looking for denim. So for anyone looking, those are a good pair to check out. I also loved this double-breasted navy blazer. I think navy in the spring is such a great sort of darker color to add into all your light summery spring tones. And this green striped shirt really caught my eye. It had a 3/4 sleeve, beautiful cuffs, and it also came in the blue. And I, excuse me, I really loved that it was a green stripe rather than a blue stripe. I think most of us have blue and white striped shirts in our wardrobe, so just something different. I also loved these little flat slide sandals. I loved the combination of the tan and the canvas, some gorgeous suede and cowhide heels, and again here a little bit of cowhide on the flat shoes there. This gorgeous little bag really caught my eye. I loved the combination of the chocolate brown leather and the canvas, but the deal breaker for me was that it didn't have a proper clasp or zip, and it's just, yeah, a safety hazard, I would say. Loved those cowhide slides, and also thought these loafers were absolutely gorgeous. I think I prefer the pair on the left that are slightly darker in color, but both really gorgeous and really good quality as well. And then I loved these fisherman sandals actually. I just think they are something so different, a really stylish shoe, and I think they would actually be a lot more versatile than we would expect, especially in this true ecru color. So I really loved these. I thought they were really cool. And here I am. You can now finally see my full outfit. Hair is scraped back because I'm in business. Tailored trousers, nice and easy to whip on and off, and my sneakers, of course. And let's get trying. This is the little tank top that I am going to be wearing with all outfits. And the first piece I wanted to show you was this gorgeous pistachio colored sort of overshirt or shacket, denim shacket. Can be worn, open as I have it here, or worn as an actual shirt buttoned up. I love the color. That is what sold me and really grabbed my attention. And here is that gorgeous chocolatey suede looking but leather bomber jacket. And as much as I loved this jacket, the silver hardware put me off a little bit. I'm definitely a gold gal and I like my gold jewelry, so the silver was what changed my mind on that. I loved this little cropped chocolate trench with the dark sort of tortoiseshell black buttons, and I thought that was really stylish and easy to wear, and a nice like light layer for the spring season. And the color was the perfect chocolate brown. And these are the shoes that you will be seeing me wear with all these outfits that I'm trying on for you. They are leather little pumps. And these are the white wide leg jeans that I was telling you looked so great on the hanger but did not look so great on me. They were a weird length. They were definitely far too short. They didn't even come to the floor on me, and they were actually a little bit too big on the waist area as well. So the fit was just completely off, and it was a pity because I loved the idea of them. Here is the leather, suede looking leather jacket that I showed you in the beginning. And I think the color is really beautiful. And it almost is like a trench style. So something quite different as well. And here are the gorgeous carrot jeans. This wash is lovely. I don't have this wash actually in my denim collection, but it's a really nice lighter blue wash for spring, summer. And here is the gorgeous cardigan that I was telling you about that I missed out on last spring. So I was so happy to find this. And it was really beautiful quality. It looks gorgeous open, and it looks equally as gorgeous done up. I think it just is such a chic piece and a really lovely transitional piece to have in the wardrobe as well, and the perfect color. And then this was the green and white striped shirt that I found on the floor, but this was a size small, and it was definitely a really small cut. I think I would definitely size up in this shirt if I bought it. I just think shirts that are too fitted are definitely more dated looking. Here is the short sleeve shirt with the big puff sleeves. I must say I love the pink color, but I think the sleeves are a little bit too puffy for me. So definitely not a piece that I would invest in personally, but I know there are ladies who love puff sleeves. So definitely check that out if you like it. And guys, these buttery yellow trousers stole my heart. I absolutely love them. This was a size small. It was slightly loose, but I wasn't sure. I think they fit really nicely. This was the giraffe print dress. I loved the neckline, and it just sort of skims the curves, a really beautiful summer dress. And I loved the back. How sexy. Really, really something different, something gorgeous. And I reckon you could dress this up or wear flat sandals. And more suede for us to look at. I loved this little saddle bag in the suede and leather. Another gorgeous suede bag there, and another color of the first one. And these bags were all genuine leather, but they have that suede feel to them. I thought this little chocolate one was super cute. And I didn't see the prices, but I'm sure they were priced very nicely. These were just a few more heels that I spotted. I thought these two were very bridal inspired. And if you are looking for a good pair of gold heels, they can be so useful. Again, a little bit too high for me personally, but I did think that they were quite gorgeous. And another little bag. This is another sort of saddle bag style. I actually have this bag. It's a beautiful burgundy tone. I absolutely love it. I get so much use out of it, and it comes with a longer crossbody strap as well. And some more fisherman sandals. These were in a tan color, which I also really liked. I just wasn't too sold on the square toe. And wedges seemed to be huge, but I was not loving these very overly chunky ones, I must say.